Well, good morning and welcome back to another WCN Live here at the Wilson County News. My name is Kristen Weaver, Director of Operations, and today my guest is
Pastor Lon Scott.
So nice to have you here, Pastor Lon.
Thank you.
And, before we get into things, let me thank our sponsor. We're sponsored today by White Lightning Liquor. They're located at Centerpoint on FM 775 between here and Lavernia. And thank you so much, Jerry, for your sponsorship of WCN Live and all you do in our community. You're a wonderful contributor. So we appreciate you, and they're tagged in the description of this video. Okay, so as we go here, let me check something out. Okay, well, so the first thing we're going to do is draw a winner from last week's conversation. So as we're live, we ask that you post a comment, and you can say hello, give a thumbs up, you can ask a question. We'll follow along and see and try to answer them as best we can. So these, right now, I'm going to have you draw a winner from last week's conversation, the comments that were made, if we could get you to draw a winner.
Okay. Lucky winner.
All right, let's see who wins. And the winner of his C Street gift shop goodie bag is Amanda Salazar. So congratulations, Amanda. I will be reaching out to you on Facebook Messenger later today so you can pick up your prize. All right. Wow. So today we are honored to have Pastor Lon here with us, and we're going to be talking about Resurrection Methodist Church of San Antonio, and look forward to learning all about that. So tell us a little about yourself, who you are, where you're from.
Well, my name is Lon Scott, and born in Illinois, but got to Texas a year later. I grew up in Weatherford, Texas, which is north of here, just 30 miles west of Fort Worth, approximately. Went to high school there and graduated there, and went to University of Texas at Arlington, graduated from there, and was an engineer for 40 years, and now I'm a pastor for the last 10, so it's been an interesting road.
Sounds interesting. Yeah, it really does. So that 10 years being a pastor, what do you have to share about that, and what led you, I guess, to follow that role? Interesting
story. I think God always wanted me to get into ministry, except I wasn't paying attention. And so God blessed me with a great career at Lockheed Martin for a long time. And then when I retired from Lockheed Martin, I sort of had this nagging feeling that I wasn't done yet, that God wanted me to do something more. Mm-hmm. And sort of a tangled path, I found my way into the ministry at the United Methodist Church. I grew up a Methodist. In fact, I was born in Illinois in a pastor's parsonage. So I got back involved with the church, and here I am today, a global Methodist with my church in Resurrection, at Resurrection in San Antonio.
Okay. And how long have you been there?
I just completed my third year.
Wow, congrats. Yeah. So, where is that located actually?
Well, if you know where East Central High School is, it's almost right across the way from East Central. There's a little Cover Cemetery that kind of is between us, but from East Central High School you can see the top of our church, and vice versa. From our church you can see East Central High School.
Oh, nice. Yes. And I was looking at your pamphlet here. You have a very, it's a traditional looking church. You can't miss it. That's beautiful. So you welcome pretty much anyone to visit there. Tell us a little about the history behind Resurrection Methodist Church.
Well, it's interesting history because we didn't start out as Resurrection Methodist Church. Back in I guess it was 1980s. There was two churches. There was a Parita United Methodist Church, and then there was a Grace United Methodist Church, both in the little area of Atkins. And they decided to come together and close those two churches and stand up what is today Resurrection Methodist Church. And so in 2008, the construction of the church was completed, and we've been worshiping there since
Yeah.
then. Almost, I guess we're coming up 18 years now. So
Okay, nice. Yeah, boy, time flies.
it does, it does.
And great. What is your mission and the vision at Resurrection?
Well, our mission is to make disciples of Jesus Christ. That's the Great Commission. That's the mission that most churches are on, to make disciples of Jesus Christ. Sundays we are there to glorify God and to do that very thing. Bring people under the roof to introduce them to God if they don't know God, and then if they want to worship God, to bring them along in that path towards to getting to know God better.
Nice, nice. So let's talk about your worship schedule, which is what the next question was anyway.
Okay, well, we worship, again, we're a small country church. We worship probably somewhere around 35, 40 people a Sunday.
Okay.
We certainly have the capacity to worship more than that, where our church is normally about half full. Looks like we could seat about 100, 120 if we really packed them in. But our service starts at 10 and it goes to 11. We do all the old-fashioned stuff. We have a church bell, and we ring the church bell. That tells people to, hey, come in and get seated.
Right.
And then we have a traditional service that we do, where we read from the lectionary, and our sermons are scriptural based. They're not based on necessarily things that are going on in the world. We focus on what that scripture, the lectionary says the scripture we should be talking about, and we try to build our sermon around that.
Okay.
So and we sing hymns. We don't do so much praise music. We have the hymnals, and we sing like churches used to.
Nice, nice. Well, you brought up hymns. What is the music like? Do you have?
A lot of it is if you remember, we're Methodist, so John Wesley and his brother was the one that wrote a lot of the hymns in the United Methodist hymnal. We use the United Methodist hymnal, even though we're global Methodists. We share that tradition. So it's a lot of the hymns that we sang when we were growing up.
I love that. I'll get to the next question in a minute, but no, we'll move to the next question. I'll hang on to this. So I thought that was so neat. As I was doing some research for the questions I thought we should talk about today, and that you post your sermons are posted weekly on your website and YouTube.
Yes.
You've been doing that, well, I guess, since you came?
Before
that?
We've been doing it since I came.
Okay.
And they were doing it with the previous pastor also. So there's probably, I don't know, sermons out there, if you wanted to call them up, that go back to 2020 or there before. We don't post the entire service because we are somewhat technology limited. We have to have a guy pointing the camera back there, and we don't have multiple cameras where you can see the whole congregation. So we YouTube the sermon, but that's all we can do right now based on our technology.
Well, you're so modest, but I was very impressed by that. That you do these things, and I think that's nice. It's a nice way to connect with your church and with others, and really help spread your message. I think that's a really neat tool that you're doing that. So y'all check it out. Your website is, I have it written right here, so I'll go ahead and read what that is to check them out. It's rmcsat.org.
That's right.
Okay.
And there's a link that should take you to a file of our sermons, and then you can pick whichever one you want. We also, and I won't give it to you here, but we also have a link on the back of our bulletin that takes you to the sermons.
Okay. Well, that's great.
And we do the old-fashioned bulletin. We do, call to worship and all that stuff. Like if I'm 75, and I grew up with, hey, you had a bulletin, you followed the bulletin. It wasn't freelance. And so that's the way we do it today, with an old-fashioned bulletin.
Well, that's great. A lot of churches still do that, so that's good. Now tell us about the third Wednesday San Antonio Food Bank Ministry.
Well, that actually started out, it's been going for 37 years. Before Resurrection existed in 2008, 37 years prior to that, the little church that we were a product of, like I think I said, that we Grace United Methodist and Parida United Methodist came together to form Resurrection. But Parida Methodist Church, back 37 years ago, began to have a partnership with the San Antonio Food Bank. And we've maintained that partnership ever since. I think it's always been the third Wednesday of the month. San Antonio Food Bank delivers a truckload of food. It's usually bulk food, like 50-pound sacks of carrots and huge crates of corn, and then there's canned foods and other things that they deliver, but a lot of it is bulk food. And then the volunteers that the church lines up each week show up before the food truck gets there, set up. When the food truck gets there and drops these pallets off, we all pile in and help each other split the food up into family servings. And then as people drive through the parking lot and check in, every family or every car gets the number of family servings that they've signed up for. Some families are picking up, or some cars are picking up for multiple families, and they may get 3 servings. Some are just picking up for their own family. They get 1 serving. We usually have, we probably serve every Wednesday 100 to 150 families in the area. Been doing that for 37 years. If you do the math on that, that's a lot of families.
It is. And how do they get involved? How do they reach out for this help?
Just contact the church, and we have a special committee set up. Helen Lawrence is on that committee. Pat Titus is on that committee, and Butch Titus are on that committee. They're all members of our church, and they sort of help the church manage the food bank serve process, and so they'll sign you up. We always need help. That's a lot of work, and we have to break those bulk servings down in a limited amount of time. Our gates open at 9, and we try to have the food all dispersed by 11. So there's a lot of stuff that goes into that. So if you feel inclined to serve and help people in the area, those are the people that you should contact, and you can reach them just through the church.
Well, good. And since we're on the topic of ministries, are there others that you have? What other ministries and that you'd like to tell us about in your efforts?
Well, we're very proud of our community outreach. A lot of churches, especially churches that have been around for a while, they get to where they're more inward looking than outward looking. And I'm proud of our church because we try hard to be outward looking as well as inward looking. Inward looking, you're worrying about your congregation, and outward looking, you're worrying about what's going on in the community and how can we serve.
Good.
And so we got, in fact, we got so many things going on, I had to write them down because I'd forget them. Let me just highlight some of the things that we do each year. We start out the year with, we have a big 55-gallon barrel in the entryway of the church as you walk in, and we call that our barrel ministry. And so what goes into that barrel changes every month depending on what our focus is. So in January we start out with a teddy bear ministry where we provide teddy bears, new teddy bears. We put them in the barrel, and those teddy bears go to first responders who are dealing with a child in a traumatic situation to try to help comfort that child. So teddy bear ministry in January. February, we sponsor the people staying at the Ronald McDonald House, people dealing with illnesses of children and their family. They need a place to stay to be close to the hospital. So our barrel ministry in February goes to providing, consumable items that go to families living at the Ronald McDonald House.
Yeah.
March is big Easter egg time, so we do the big Easter egg hunt. April is our Bolville Presbyterian Church Clothes Closet Ministry, where Bolville is, that's one of the things they do, gently used clothing and items that people in the community can get at affordable rates. And so we donate stuff from our church to their church to do that. We have a whole list of things that we could go through. I guess, we're constantly, we're doing flood buckets now. Last year it was the people in Kerrville that needed help.
Yep.
This year, people still in the hill country that experienced flooding, we're building flood buckets to use in the event that we have hurricanes on the coast. Those are things that we do. Every month we seem like we got 2 or 3 things going on that the church tries to get involved with. We can't contribute a lot because we're a small church, but we can contribute with love what we can contribute, and so we do that.
Always thinking of others. That's amazing. Sounds like wonderful work. I would ask you then a couple things I wanted to touch on from our conversation before we started, but you mentioned how your wife Dina helps with the children.
Oh, yes.
Sermon?
Right? Yes, every Sunday we have a children's sermon.
Yeah,
yes.
That's nice. And then the other thing was, well, I was going to ask you, what are your needs? What
are our needs? Well,
what would you ask those that are watching?
Just come to our church and see what it's like to worship in a way that is wholesome and traditional and spirit-led. I think that's what the church needs in general. The church, all churches need more people of faith to come under their roof and worship God. It's what Christians are supposed to do, glorify God. And sadly, in today's time, there's too many distractions. People don't do that like they should.
Right.
But come and get to know Jesus Christ. Come and get to know some wonderful people in our church. Come and be a part of the ministries that we do and help us start some more. In fact, I want to make a plug. We recently were blessed to hire a young man. I say young man. I'm 75. He's only 49. But he's younger than me. But a young man from the Philippines, Dr. Richard Nerig, right? Doctor. I get his last name a little bit mixed up, but he's coming on board as our youth director.
Wow.
We got wonderful hopes for him. He brings with him a wealth of experience from California. He did that in California, and in the Philippines, he was. In fact, the surgeon. And I thought my story was weird about being an engineer, now pastor. His story is even more profound than that. He was a medical doctor.
Wow. And
he came to the United States, wanted to do, probably felt the same calling I did, that, hey, it was great that you did that, but I really want you to do something else. So Pastor Rich has come on board to help us grow our youth program. So God works in mysterious ways. He
does. That's really interesting. And tell me about your Bible study. You have that weekly?
Bible study. Each Wednesday we gather at the church, and it's sort of become a melting pot of different denominations. We have Catholics that come to that. We have ex-Baptists that come to that. Of course, we have our Methodist population that come to that. Yeah. We have, I think there was a Presbyterian or two, Lutheran, yeah. Oh, nice. Lutherans come to. And, you'd think, well, you get all those denominations in the same room, we'd all be haggling about different things. That's not the case. We all are there to read the Bible, to do our best to get our mind around what the Bible is telling us, and to worship Jesus Christ. And so it's a beautiful experience. We go from We usually have a fellowship meal before it starts. It starts every Wednesday. People start gathering. They bring in their potlucks. You know, Methodists and a lot of churches are famous for their potlucks. We have our potluck, and 4:30 we get started, and we usually go to around 6. And what we're doing is our curriculum is there's this Methodist syllabus out there. It's called Disciples 1. And it has Disciples 1, Disciples 2, Disciples 3. The Disciples 1 is sort of a purview of the whole Bible. And so we're into our 20th week of that. We just finished the Old Testament. We're in the New Testament.
Nice.
And so come and be a part of that.
And
It's,
what time is all of that?
it starts, potluck is usually around 4, and we start at 4:30, and we usually go to 6.
Cool. Well, I thought that was interesting. And anything else? Let's see. That kind of leads me to the end of my questions here. Is there anything else you'd like to leave us with? While you think about that, let me just give a shout out to those who have been watching. Thanks for watching, Brendan, Victoria, good morning to you. Elaine, Sharon, good morning, good to see you. And Sonia Pruski's joined us today, thank you. Sherry Manti says thank you for your support to the food pantry. And Sonia shared, love what you do for your community. And also, good question by Sherry, what is this month's barrel?
This month's barrel is, let me look at my list. Hold on. What is it? School supplies. Back to school.
Okay.
The month of July and August, our barrel ministry, we asked people to contribute, things that kids need: notebooks, folders, pencils, paper, pens, things that kids need. And if you want to buy a backpack, pitch it in there. We gather all those things up. I think it's Sunday after next, and we'll bless those things. The church will bless them, and then we're going to ask our new youth director to help us get those things handed out to the kids going to school in the surrounding areas.
That's so nice. Okay. Well, thanks for asking that question, Sherry. Some good feedback today. And with that said, what would you like to leave folks with today as we come to the conclusion?
Well, come to our church. It's a beautiful church. Dr. Ellen Cover donated 30 acres back in the 80s to build this church on. It's got a little fishing pond on it. It's got a community garden in it. It's got a walking trail. It's got a lot of things, a lot of outreach opportunities, and opportunities if you just want to wander around our walking trail and talk to God. It allows you to do that. So come to our little church and experience what it's like to worship in a traditional way on Sundays. Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for coming and sharing about what you're doing at Resurrection Methodist Church of San Antonio. And again, that's in the East Central area in Atkins.
East Central High School,
off Knowlton Road. And the website again is rmcsat.org. And look them up. We appreciate your time today and coming all this way to sit down with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
It's really nice.
I appreciate it very, very much.
Thank you. Thank you all for watching us too. We appreciate you every Wednesday when we're live. I also want to thank our sponsor, White Lightning Liquor, located at Centerpoint on FM 775 between here and Lavernia. Thank you so much, Jerry Coldaway, for your sponsorship and your community contributions. We appreciate you. And again, thanks for watching. We hope you join us again next Wednesday when we'll be live at 10 a.m. See you then.